This is the Acebeam X75 Micro Arc edition. I'll explain the Micro Arc in a minute, but the reason that I got this light is primarily because it has Cree's newest LEDs in it, the XHP 70.3. This is the high intensity version, and what that means is that you get increased beam distance at the cost of a little bit of output. Both lights have the very effective copper heat sink and cooling fan system, along with the built-in battery power bank, and come with the 60-watt fast charger or an optional 100-watt fast charger. Now, about the Micro Arc. This is how they get that stony white finish that's supposed to be highly wear resistant, drop resistant, corrosion resistant, and just plain better than Type 3 hard anodizing. This is not my area of expertise, but I'm going to try to give you a basic understanding of this and try not to spread any misinformation. Type 2 anodizing is probably the most common. This type of finish is done by submerging the metal in a bath of sulfuric acid and then passing an electrical current over it. This is the easiest one to add colors to. Essentially what you're doing is rapidly oxidizing the part so that it forms like a crust on the outside of it. Type 3 hard anodizing is also done by electrolysis, but it's done at a lower temperature and a higher current. This results in a harder, thicker finish, but I was warned by a plating company when I was making some parts one time that it's going to be more prone to cracking and flaking. I found a good article on Kieranite's website, their plating company. They said about micro arc oxidation, which is also called plasma electrolytic oxidation, that it's much like the anodizing process. There are some crucial differences. For one, PEO uses much higher voltage than anodizing, creating plasma discharges at the surface of the metal that lead to a ceramic surface coating. A quote I found on BLF also said that the ceramic layer has dense structure, good toughness, wear resistance, corrosion resistance, high temperature impact resistance, and electrical insulation properties. Now, when I compare these two, they do feel slightly different. For me, the difference is mostly in the look. It sort of reminds me of Cerakote. If I close my eyes and feel it, it's very smooth and yet sticky somehow. It feels grippy and it's not rough at all. If I drag my fingernail across it in certain places, it feels really chalky, like a really super fine grit sandpaper, maybe. But if I do that in certain places on the Type 3 hard anodize, like on the tail right here, I kind of get a little bit of that too. Now, obviously, because it's white, it does kind of show stuff, dirt and things like that on it a little more. I'm going to take one for the team here. Rub my greasy thumbprint on this. However, it does all seem to wipe off pretty easily. So far, I haven't stained this light in a way that I couldn't just take it off with rubbing alcohol. Kieranite said about the durability of this finish, electrolytic oxidation coatings have exceeded upwards of 2,000 hours in a salt spray without corrosion, against traditional anodizings that last just 200 hours. As far as like durability, I don't really see it personally. Like, aside from the dirt and stuff, I beam shot. Like, the only thing I've done, I played with this for just a little while, go out, have my fun, and then I start filming to make beam shots and stuff and the comparisons. And I filmed for a few hours, playing around, trying different things, and I'm running around out there in the dark. And I guess it was kind of a dumb thing to do, but I didn't really think it would be that big of a deal. But I took both I had both lights, and I carried them like that, and you can see that there's some little wear spots on this one, like right on the sharpest edges, that like it's flaked off, or I mean it's not flaked, but you can see bare metal through there. And there's a couple of different spots I can already see that, and to me, I mean, I didn't feel like I was abusing it. I am kind of hard on things, but this one I was carrying in the same hand right together, and pretty much every place that it is marked, I can just wash that off with alcohol. So I don't know. I don't know that I think it's more durable. This is one of the shots we're gonna do as soon as it gets dark. I just wanted to show you. I mean, because you can really see how far the distance is from there, and really it's even further to those trees. We're gonna do that and see if there's a significant difference between the two. On the right side, we're gonna do the original first. Now we'll do the arc on the left. Definitely feels like it's got a little bit more range to it. A little more tightness to the beam. See if we can get just a beam shape comparison. Okay, this is our original on low. The arc. Original arc. That right there is a truck driving across the field, right where I showed you earlier. Its lights on. Looks like they got a little bit of a spotlight on there too.